Hello and welcome to the Montevallo Ustream Halftime Show. I'm Gerald Cunningham alongside Dr. Caplow. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Today we're going to talk about environmental studies at the University of Montevallo. So tell me, Dr. Caplow, what got you into environmental studies?
Well, I guess it started with a love for the environment. When I was younger, I liked to go camping and go hiking and just spend time outside, kind of roaming around the neighborhood. And so I think that kind of translated into a desire to work in the environment and help the environment. But as I started taking classes in college, I started as a biology major, but I kind of realized that a lot of the problems that we see with the environment have to do with people and what people are doing. So I kind of shifted over to the social sciences and the policy side because I wanted to work with people to address the behaviors that we're engaging in that hurt the environment.
So exactly what is the mission? Because you've been working here since August, so it hasn't even been a year yet, and environmental studies is still fairly new at the University of Montevallo.
Yes.
So what is the mission for environmental studies as a minor, and what is your mission or your long-term goal for environmental studies?
Well, the mission of environmental studies here is that it's an interdisciplinary minor that is drawing from all different departments and schools to train students to solve environmental problems. So all the classes that you take in the environmental studies minor have something to do with the environment, but they come in, they're happening in different departments with different lenses, with different toolkits, so that ideally when a student comes out of the minor, they'll have this diverse skill set that helps them solve environmental problems. And right now it's just a minor, but as part of my job, because I'm the first faculty member in environmental studies here at Montevallo, before that, faculty from different departments were putting in their own time and energy into this project. But now that I'm here, part of what I'm doing is expanding it into a major so that students can have that same kind of experience, but even more intense and more training for environmental problem solving.
Okay. I looked on the environmental studies website earlier, and one of the quotes that I saw was that environmental studies gives your degree a green edge. So I wanted to ask you personally, how does that quote apply to environmental studies, and how does environmental studies fare in the job market?
It fares pretty well. The green edge, of course, is that you will have this skill set that might give you an edge on the competition in the green market and the emerging green jobs economy. There's a lot of environmental issues that are becoming more and more salient and important. We're talking a lot more about climate change these days than we have in previous years. There's issues with energy and finding new sources of renewable energy. And so these kinds of issues are becoming more and more important, and so there's a growing job market around these things in environmental advocacy and environmental management, in technology development and these kinds of things. So a student who has that environmental studies part of their degree has that kind of expertise to help with these problems. Even if they don't go into a green job, they might be working in a sector that's not considered green, but all sectors are being asked to become more green, to become more sustainable.
Since you've been on campus, what type of events have you held to, inform people about environmental studies, and what type of things do you want to do in the future to inform people about environmental studies?
Well, since I've gotten here, I've done a couple of things. Not much because I haven't been here long, but in the fall, I helped bring in the Southern Exposure Film Series, which is run by the Southern Environmental Law Center, and it's basically it's a summer fellowship where a bunch of talented young filmmakers come together and they make films about environmental issues in Alabama. Okay. And so there were, I think, 6 or 7 videos that were about 10 to 15 minutes long, and we showed those here, and we had a panel of environmentalist local activists who talked about it. That had a really good positive feedback and turnout. This semester I've had a sustainability town hall meeting where it was an open meeting. Anyone from the city of Montevallo, the community, anyone who was interested could come and talk about the future of sustainability at Montevallo, and we had a really good discussion there too. And then finally, just last week, I had an environmental social where we just had some snacks and invited anybody who was interested in just hanging out with environmentally focused people could just come on down. So we had a lot of fun.
I think that's good. I think the main thing that I like that you talked about is that a lot of these events are, open to anyone. You're not just shutting it down to a specific group of people, and I think that's what can help evolve the numbers of people that are going to want to be involved, because they don't feel like they're being shut out from maybe even having a different opinion, because everyone's welcome.
Absolutely. I think sustainability at Montevallo has always been a kind of a grassroots movement, and I think that's really great. That's how it has to be, because sustainability has an environmental component, a social component, and an economic component, and without making sure that all of those are met, then it's not really sustainability. And I think in order to get all of that sustainability in place, you need to have the input of the community. And so we're always trying to get more people involved. So my door is always open to anyone who wants to talk about sustainability.
Now, I know another thing that can also affect that is, with environmental studies, there are a lot of stereotypes that are said, just like with any other major. What are some stereotypes that you have heard about environmental studies, and maybe some that you want to clear up and give more information about?
Well, of course, the classic stereotype is the kind of the hippie, granola, tree hugger, that kind of stuff.
At first, did you get kind of offensive, or did you just kind of look past it?
That's a good question. It doesn't really offend me. It kind of makes me laugh a little bit, because I think it is kind of a silly stereotype, but it's also, I know the point of the stereotype is to try to marginalize environmental concerns and the environmental movement. So my response is, I do kind of want to see environmental students be good workers.
Said that you guys do have a close relationship with IDS. How has IDS helped you in making sure to bring together the minor to make sure that you get the full curriculum in order to understand what this minor is really about?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, IDS has definitely been a close ally. They've been very, very helpful. Scott Turner is the coordinator for that program, and he's been super, super helpful. I think that the IDS has really been kind of a laboratory for the major, because we've had several students go through the IDS program with an environmental studies focus, because environmental studies is interdisciplinary, so it makes sense that they would be close. It's essentially environmental studies. I'm breaking it off to be its own major, because I think there's enough support at Montevallo and enough demand at Montevallo that it can be a standalone interdisciplinary major. But I don't know if it could have come this far without the help of IDS, because that's really helped us see how to design a major, how to kind of bring in different departments. So they've been really helpful in that way.
Okay, thank you. Before we go, we're going to look at a couple of pictures. So we're going to take our way to the monitor. So
yes. That's our office.
The environmental studies. And it's something interesting about this office. Where exactly is this office located?
The office is in the tower, which most people have never actually been in, but you've walked by it 1,000 times. It's right outside of the dining hall, kind of in that little courtyard area. And yeah. So this is actually some environmental club students. The environmental club has been a huge, a lot of good changes. They do a lot of good service work. Help of IDS, because that's really helped us see how to design a major, how to kind of bring in different departments. So they've been really helpful in that way.
Okay, thank you. Before we go, we're going to look at a couple of pictures. So we're going to take our way to the monitor. So
yes, that's our office.
The environmental studies. And it's something interesting about this office. Where exactly is this office located?
The office is in the tower, which most people have never actually been in, but you've walked by it 1,000 times. It's right outside of the dining hall, kind of in that little courtyard area. And yeah, this is actually a solar water pump that's at the garden, at the community organic garden. It's just up the road on Middle Street. And so, it uses that solar panel to pump water from the creek that then they use to water the garden. The garden is a great sustainability lab as well. So I encourage everyone to volunteer. Here's some ValoCycle people doing what they do best. ValoCycle is our bike share program, and so you can rent a bike through them. They're also running some group rides and just general, advocacy for biking around Montevallo, and that's also been a great sustainability initiative. This is at the lake. You can go kayaking and canoeing there. Montevallo, the University Lake has, it's just a beautiful place to go, and it's also one of those places you can connect to nature so that you can start caring for it and then want to help protect it. So that's hopefully what these folks in the picture are doing, although I can't say for sure. This is a mural that is on the side of the Subway restaurant in the downtown Montevallo area. This was done by a group during summer session last year, and led by Colin Williams in the art department. And they used they used Montevallo help. They also had students from the local schools involved, and it's a great, very visible showcase of our demonstration of our commitment to sustainability here in Montevallo. And then that's back to the office. So I'm also in UMOM. This building is not always occupied. Sometimes it is, but I'm usually in UMOM if anyone wants to stop by.